Okay, so I was going to try and stick to my schedule on the third week of that. I've already messed up. So this got Wednesday, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. I don't know because I had no clue what to review because I didn't want to review another comic as I'd done one the week before, and I want to try and alternate the mediums I review as much as possible. It won't be video game, movie, comic on that rota every time. I'll just try and switch it up so I'm not reviewing the same kind of thing every week. So then I remembered, of course, Gotham starts over here in the UK on Monday. I'll review that. That went from 9 till 10, so it was already? It was already late. So I just couldn't really review on Tuesday. I was doing loads of work. So this review also going to be kind of rambly because I've not got many notes. This is all from memory. So if I do miss anything major, sorry. So the pilot, this is a review of the pilot as well. Nothing else has aired over here. I don't think I'll review this every week. I don't know. I'll see, I guess. Right, so Gotham, when I heard it was announced, and it was at first just announced as Fox are doing a Jim Gordon-centered show, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, that is the best idea. Fox, who do loads of cop shows and stuff, doing a Jim Gordon police show, which I assumed was basically going to be not so much the minor crimes, but the less supervillainy crimes that happen in Gotham. Him trying to stop like serial killers and stuff in just this dark, seedy place, and kind of have Batman as a background character who would pop in every now and again. While Gordon's kind of trying to clean up the police department and do his good work. Basically, Batman from Gordon's perspective. However, then all this business started coming out about it being a prequel show, and I got much less excited. In fact, after the first trailer, I wasn't even sure if I was going to watch it. I set to record and was kind of like, I guess I'll give it a go. And my overall view of it is very, it's not that good, really. Don't get me wrong, it's not like shit or anything, but it's just not stunning, if that makes sense. Well, no, it does. It's very middle of the. Actually, I wouldn't even say middle. It's very lower to middle of the road. Without, I don't want to call it a bad show because obviously it's the pilot, and yeah, I don't like to be too harsh on pilots because they have to introduce a lot and just they almost feel like they're trying to sell the show because that is at the end of the day what they're there for. Pilots are to sell the show to the showrunners. So they've got to kind of build everything up and have it ready. It can't just be a normal episode most of the time. So this episode did suffer from that a lot because it was constantly moving from one place to the other, introducing this character and this subplot and this and this and that. And I never got time to really get a grasp on many of the characters. The only two I did were Bullock and Gordon because a lot of screen time is devoted to them because they're the main characters, but so many other people just go by in passing. It's like, wait, who are you? What? No, you. Who? How about? Oh, Jesus. But yeah, and the weakest part of this show is the prequel stuff. Oh, it's so forced, like stunningly so. I mean, when I heard the Riddler was going to start off working as the coroner, that kind of interested me. However, I really hoped it wasn't going to be, hey, if I want to read a riddle, I'll go read the funny pages. And yeah, I hoped he wasn't going to already be talking in riddles, or if so, it'd be more questions. Like, you know, he gets kind of excited over stuff, and he's like, ooh, guess what happened next? That kind of thing, rather than riddle me this, Gordon. And I don't think he said riddle me this, but he was telling riddles. And the line, hey, if I want to read a riddle, I'd go read the funny pages, did appear. And oh wow, that was awful. And he was there for like five, not even a minute, maybe. He was barely there. He was so in passing, it really felt cheesy because of that. I didn't know who he was outside of this guy's going to be the Riddler. And then you had Ivy Pepper, who I hate that renaming. I think it's a stupid idea to make the supervillain's name already their real name. Yeah, I've never been a fan of that. And she, I didn't get the purpose to her. She just kind of showed up and was like, "My name's Ivy," and then she played with some plants in the background. Uh, it was very cringy. I actually laughed at that point. Then there was, I think, Selena Kyle. She doesn't say anything. I have no clue what's up with her. She seems like a thief who likes cats. I'm actually fine with that. Starting as a street thief, that I didn't mind that as her origin, and yeah, and actually the idea of her seeing the Wayne's murder kind of interested me, and I would like to see where they go with that with Selena Kyle, because I think the next episode is called Selena Kyle, and she is teased at the end in a stupid scene where, okay, if you've seen the episode, how does Gordon not see her? Is Gordon visually impaired? Like, he's not wearing glasses in this. But does he need to be wearing glasses? Because, wow, how did he not see her in the middle of the day? But, then there was... Who shall I talk about next? The next villain, I suppose, they teased was Penguin. Okay, Penguin's origin here isn't very original, where he starts off as a snivelling guy who's going to become, obviously, the big crime boss of Gotham. I don't know what kind of penguin accent that is. If I'm going the Arkham City route, it's I'm the Penguin. But yeah, I actually quite like the act playing him, and I laughed when he murdered a guy for a sandwich. That was funny. I didn't really get why they called him the Penguin. I suppose it's because of his nose. He didn't have a waddle until the end. When, obviously, yeah. But I feel he's going to build up as the main villain, because he clearly wants to take over from Fish Mooney, and then Carmine Falcone. Don't know why his name's Falcone and not Falcone. Just saying, that was really annoying. But yeah, I like the actor playing him. The only problem I have was that one scene where it was, "Don't get too excited, Penguin," and they say it like that, and he goes, I don't like to be called that." It was such a stupid scene. It was, wow, I laughed at that. That was awful in the trailers, and it was awful in the episode. I really didn't like that idea. Then I think that's all the major Batman villains they teased. Oh, the Joker. So I actually quite liked how they teased the Joker in this, surprisingly, because unlike the others, there was some debate over whether he could be the Joker or not. Because, yeah, it's not like, "Oh, you're such a joker." No, they say he's funny, the stand-up comedian. But the Joker has many origins, so I really hope they play around with that if they ever do introduce the Joker, which please don't unless you're going to introduce Batman. Maybe they'll do a time jump for next. I would actually quite like that. That'd be so cool. Please do a time jump, Gotham. That's besides the point. So yeah, Carmine Falcone next. Right? Was I talking about Carmine? Oh, the Joker. Yeah, that's all I have to say about her. Actually, I'll talk about Fish Mooney. She's generic. She doesn't really have a lot to her character. That she's just a crime boss who doesn't get the way it's run. You're not meant to just kill cops, in the words of Carmine Falcone. So yeah, not a huge fan. I think she is original to the show. I think she's created. I've not heard of a Fish Mooney, but she's generic. I have no idea. Yeah, Carmine Falcone. I like the mystery they're setting up with him over whether he killed Gordon's parent, whether he killed Bruce's parents or not, and if he didn't, who is he covering for, or what's up with that? I quite like that. That's an intriguing mystery, which I assume actually is the main background for this season. Then I'll talk about Alfred and Batman next. Alfred, I didn't like in this. He just came across as a bit of a dick, and I get where they're coming from. They want to make it like Earth One. I can't blame them. I really like Earth One, but Alfred in that works in that because he's this rugged military guy. But we don't have that background for him in Gotham. We have no clue. He just seems like a butler who's just horrible to this kid who had his parents murdered in front of his eyes violently. Like, wow, way to be nice, Alfred. I really wasn't feeling it. But who knows, maybe we'll find out a bit more about him. Bruce Wayne, I quite like the scene, or their interpretation of the scene where his parents died, actually. We got the pearls, which is important. We got the shooter obviously shot both his parents. Yeah, quite violently, actually. There was a lot of blood, which surprised me. And I like the idea of the killer wearing a mask. I think that's interesting, and I would like to see how they go with that. And the scream, I was okay with it, actually. I didn't mind it that he screamed, because his parents were gunned down, to be fair. I would probably scream like a 5-year-old girl as well, because that's what this kid screams like. I would probably do something similar if that happened in front of my eyes. And I think sometimes the way it's approached in Batman is they're shot and then he's just completely hollowed by the event. This is a much more emotional Batman. He doesn't like have his soul ripped out in that scene in Gotham. He just kind of, it upsets him, really, is the difference in Gotham. So that's pretty much. Barbara Gordon, she was alright, although the only real purpose she had in this episode was to support Gordon and to hint at Montoya's lesbian background. Okay, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. First of all, one problem: she's blonde. How does a blonde woman and I think he's got brown hair, guy have a redhead child? Unless Barbara dyes her hair. Guess we'll see. So yeah, actually that will lead me nicely into Montoya and I forget the other guy's name. The Major Crimes Unit. I like them. I think they don't really get to do a lot, but they feel kind of, or Montoya feels kind of boiled down to her basic prevailing thing everyone knows about her, which is the case with a lot of characters in this show. It's like, what do you know about Selena Kyle? She's Catwoman. What do you know about the Riddler? He does riddles. What do you know about Penguin? And actually, that's what. Not Penguin. What do you know about Poison Ivy? She likes plants. What do you know about Renee Montoya? The thing most people know, if they know who Renee Montoya is that, yeah, she's a lesbian, and I think she becomes the Question in, or she certainly is in Final Crisis. I don't know when she did, though. But I assume that wouldn't happen. Oh, that'd be cool, actually, if the Question appeared. Count that, Gotham. Actually, I'd rather see him in Arrow. Arrow, get on having the Question in there. But, I'm totally rambling. Yes. My problem with them was they turned the good cops against each other, aka them and Gordon, for no reason. Gordon just kind of aggressively kind of had a go at them for no reason. So yeah, that was my problem with that. It felt very, let's create tension, because, we can't have 3 people trying to fix the police department. And, well, I guess that finally leaves me with Bullock and Gordon. I think that's everyone. Yeah. So Bullock and Gordon. I like Gordon. he's serviceable. Would like to get into his head a bit more. They keep mentioning he was in a war. Don't know what's up with that. He seems way too young to have fought in a war and not. He seems too idealistic to have served in the military. But I have no real problem with him outside of he doesn't have a moustache or glasses, so he looks nothing like Gordon. He just looks like Cop Man. But yeah, not really too much to say about him. I did like at the end the way he kind of chose to play the game but didn't, if that makes sense. Like they wanted him to kill the guy, but he didn't. I liked that. I knew he wouldn't because he's Gordon, but I was interested to see how he'd get out of it, and I liked the way he did that. He was clever. He's on his feet. He thinks on his feet. Even he's on his feet. Of course he is. I also quite liked. Did I quite like Bullock? See, I'm kind of debating this myself. Yeah, I suppose I liked Bullock. Once again, he's boiled down to his basic personality trait, which is he was a crooked cop, and in this, he's a crooked cop. He's not really got much Bullockism to him. I prefer Bullock after he stops being a corrupt cop in the comics. I prefer where they've gone with him from there, and I hope this show goes that way. So, just some closing thoughts, as that was all the characters to talk about, really. But the show feels like it's moving too fast, yet not fast enough. If that makes sense. Like, no, not it, but not fast. It's moving too fast, sorry. I don't know why I said but not fast enough. It's moving way too fast. So, first episode, Waynes are murdered. That kind of sucks, because if you're doing a Batman prequel show and you're going to have Bruce Wayne around, I think it's or Kid Bruce Wayne around, I think it's important you have, I think it would have been better to have the parents around for longer. We don't really get to see a lot of them in this media outside of the comics. I would like to have gotten to know them, shown, oh wow, these are great people, maybe they inspire Gordon, and then bam! Final episode of season 1, or maybe at some random point. Maybe don't reveal when they're going to get shot, just have it suddenly, bam, oh, this just got real, man. The Waynes got wasted, and no one knows who by. Because otherwise it's just, oh, look, the Waynes are dead again. I don't care, because they die in everything, because they're the Waynes. That's the purpose they serve, like Uncle Ben, or Superman's parents, or whoever. It's most comic book characters' parents. It's, oh, you're here, guess you're gonna get wasted in a minute then. And yeah, and it just kind of leads Bruce Wayne too early to trying to become Batman. Already in the first episode, he's like still on the roof. I'm testing myself. Shut up, kid! Stop it! What are you doing? You're not Batman yet. Stop trying to be Batman. Are you going to become Robin before Batman exists? Stop it. Stop and disappear to go do your training, please. Wow, that sounded really... But yeah, I didn't care for that. Really. Yeah. That, and it's moving too fast because Gotham can't be fixed by Gordon, or there's no point to Batman. Because the point is, Gordon can't clean up the police department before Batman's there. Because if he cleans it up, then Gotham has a great police force. There is no need for Batman. If there's a good police force, Batman is just a nutjob in a bat costume. He has no purpose to him. However, if the police department is corrupt and no one's doing anything because everyone's corrupt in Gotham, then you need a guy in a bat suit to fight crime and show people, yes, you have the power, let's fight crime and corruption, and yes, Batman, I am the knight. However, if the police department is good, then Batman, as I said, he's just some nut job. It's like, what are you doing? The police can handle this. Whereas, if not, if the police department are corrupt, then no, the police can't handle it. So, yeah, I doubt this show has the guts to have Gordon fail at cleaning up the police department and so on. Because, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that sophisticated. It's mature in the sense it's violent and has a lot of, not a lot of sex, but a lot of like scantily clad women in the background at one point. However, it's not nearly as sophisticated as The Dark Knight or anything like that. So, wow, that turned into a little bit of a rant, actually. I'm sorry for that. That was strongly emotional. I don't even hate the series, as I said. I'm going to give it till episode 5, probably see if it gets better, and if it doesn't, then I'm going to go keep watching Arrow, which I'll do anyway, but I'll only watch Arrow because I need to catch up on the second half of season 2, and Gotham's just not cutting it, man. Sorry. So yes. Oh, one final thing. Action was filmed horribly. Like the bit where Gordon chases Mario. What was that, like, GoPro attached to the front of him stuff? That looked awful. Yeah, please don't do that again, Gotham. I know TV's never really good at filming action because it's got a lot of shaky cam, but please, that was... Whew, don't, please. So, yeah. In conclusion, probably not going to recommend the first episode of Gotham. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I know people who have, but they can make their own Rewind review channel and tell you why it's good, or in their opinion why it's good. So yes, sorry about this video being late, and sorry about that random rant in the middle of this. Yes, so that was Gotham.